إذن هذه اللحظات للجنرال آدم عبد العزيز الحلو رئيس الحركة الشعبية الشمال، وهي إحدى الحركات الموقعة على إعلان جوبا للمنصة في هذه اللحظات من أجل الكلمة بهذه المناسبة.
Your Excellency, First Lieutenant General Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellencies, Heads of State, Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Excellency Dr. Ahmed Abiy, Excellency Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister of Egypt, Excellency First Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan of Sudan. Representative of the United Arab Emirates, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia representative, representative of the African Union, representative of the UN Secretary General. Mr. Tut Galwak, Chairman of the Mediation Committee, honorable members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of local and international media, members of the delegation of the government of the Republic of Sudan. We are here today under the auspices and mediation of His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit to look for the best ways to end the war that has been raging in Sudan for the last 63 years. That is to say, since independence. Piecemeal solutions brokered in the past, starting by Addis Ababa 1972, Khartoum 1997, CPA 2005, Abuja, Cairo, Asmara, and Doha agreements. All those piecemeal solutions failed to achieve a just, comprehensive, and permanent peace. SPLA-North accepted the mediation of President Salva Kiir Mayardit and Juba as venue for peace talks when the AUHIP failed to settle the conflict in Sudan in 8 years and 22 rounds of talks. We in the SPLA-North believe that the failure was due to the complicated nature of the conflict on one hand, and the insistence of the subsequent Khartoum governments to deal with it as a security problem on the other. While the conflict is basically political. After the protest and the uprising of December 2018, new forces and new reality have emerged in the country. And we believe it availed a rare historical opportunity that needs to be exploited to achieve a just, comprehensive, and permanent peace if the two parties showed political will. We also believe that the success of the negotiations to bring an end to the war in Sudan depends on addressing the root causes of the problem that can be summarized in the two issues of national identity and relationship between religion and state. issue of identity, national identity, and the relationship between religion and the state. It bears mentioning here that when the British colonialists departed in 1956, the local elites who replaced the colonial administrators imposed their Arab identity on the state and tried to impose it on the rest of the majority African Sudanese who refused to accept or recognize that false identity. Hence, discrimination started, oppression, civil wars, and secession of South Sudan, independence of South Sudan. Still, these elites are trying to impose their identity on the remaining part of the Sudan and maintain the divisive Sharia Islamic laws, threatening with more wars and more divisions in the country. The above explains why there is racism in Sudan today. It is racial and religious double apartheid that resulted in 63 years of civil wars, where the state exterminated over 3 million of its own citizens. In South Sudan, Nuba Mountains, Blue Nile, Bijo of the East, Far North Nubia, and Darfur. The 2 points of identity and theocracy are at the top of the contentious issues that divide the Sudanese people. Instead of the exclusive monolithic Arab Islamist cultural identity, we have to look for the commonalities that provide the basis for a just unity and permanent peace. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize that we have come to the talks with a firm and a strong will and determination to achieve a new Sudan of freedom, justice, and equality. And thank you. Also, I seize this opportunity to introduce to you the other members of the Historical Bloc Alliance, because we have another alliance, and it is SPLA-North, then the Bija Congress Corrective. You can introduce yourself, yes. Then Push Organization, Dr. Muhammad. And thank you very much.
شكرا جنرال آدم عبد العزيز الحلو، والذي جاء في مجمل كلامه أن الحركة الشعبية لتحرير السودان شمال مستعد لهذا السلام ولهذا المبادرة الكريمة من فخامة الرئيس، وإن الحركة ترى أن مشكلة السودان تتركز في بندين، هو علاقة الدين بالدولة والقضية الهوية السودانوية. إذن شكرا لك سعادة الجنرال Abdelaziz Al-Hilu.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome to the podium our African senior statesman, a great hero in East Africa, a friend to the people of South Sudan, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
إذن هذه اللحظات الجمع الكريم لفخامة الرئيس اليوغندي في كلمته بهذه المناسبة العظيمة. تفضل سعادة الرئيس.
His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency General Burhan, leader of the Council in the Sudan, His Excellency the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, His Excellency the Prime Minister of Egypt, the leaders of the opposition, and the leaders of the government of the Sudan, and all the distinguished persons who are here. My remarks are in two categories. Category number one are some few words in Arabic. I don't speak Arabic, but I managed to speak a few words. Word number one, tatawir. My teachers of Arabic told me that tatawir means prosperity. That's what they told me. That tatawir means prosperity. Now the problem in Africa, but also in other parts of the world, is that leaders sometimes do not answer the question of where does tatawir come from? In Europe, it took them 300 years to answer that question. From the time of the Renaissance, about 1400, they went on meandering until 1776, when a man called Adam Smith came to help them answer that question. And the way he answered it was, the question was, where does the wealth of nations come from? The leaders need to answer that question. Where does the wealth of nations come from? Where does the wealth, where does the prosperity, tatawir, of the people come from? So that's one word. The second word is hawiya. Hawiya, according to my temporary Arab teachers, told me it means identity. Now, when you are faced with tatawir, you want to bring tatawir to the people. Then you emphasize hawiya. Then what happens? What if I am not the same with you in terms of hawiya, but I am willing to be with you in terms of tatawir? What are you going to do? Because you love your identity, I love mine. It is absolute rubbish to waste even one afternoon talking about hawiya, 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 when you are dealing with people of many hawiya. You are an enemy of that unit. Nobody can come and tell me that I'm an Arab, not even for one afternoon. I tell you to go to hell, because I'm not an Arab. So these mistakes that have been going on in Africa, including Uganda, Uganda, we lost a lot of time because of this rubbish. Some people, Hawia of tribe, Hawia of religion, and we killed one another just because of that. So that is the second Arabic word I have picked up. The third one is maslaha. Why do people spend so much time on Hawiyah and they forget maslaha? Why don't these leaders spend time looking at the maslaha of the people and see how to, I don't know your Arabic, but in Swahili we say kujumulisha. Kujumulisha, when you bring together the different things. I think it is the original an Arabic word also, kujumulisha, to bring it together. To bring together these hawiyas so that you solve maslaha of the people and you did with the tatawir. That is the third word I have picked up. The fourth one is intihazia. Intihazia, opportunism. People who are ideologically bankrupt, they have no alternative except to use the intihazia of religion, of tribe, of race. This is a this is a crime against Africa. Because if you don't know what to do, go back home and mismanage your home. Don't come to the public office to cause suffering for the people. So this emphasis, and it's good you invited me. I'm very glad. Even General Bashir had invited me to Khartoum some few years ago. I had not been to Khartoum for a long time. But when they invited me there, I told the people who were there exactly what I'm telling you now. So this intihazia must be replaced by the politics of principles of patriotism. I don't know what you call patriotism in your Arabic. Wataniya. And now Wataniya is nationalism. I want patriotism. So this is the fourth word, intihazia. Now, I didn't know that you, the Arabs, because me, I'm not an Arab, you are the Arabs, that you don't even have a word for ideology, that you use the word ideologiat, ideology. That must be, you must get a word. So I couldn't translate that. I said, what do this, because you see, managing society is like being a doctor. If you are a doctor and you do a wrong diagnosis of a patient, that patient will never get cured. Because the wrong diagnosis will lead you to a wrong prescription. And the patient will never be cured. And the political leaders managing society are like doctors. You are a socio-political doctor. You are looking at the society. What is the problem of this society? And that's why how ideology comes in. Ideology is the diagnosis of society. If you think that the diagnosis of this society is Hawiya, and you go look at my Hawiya, look at this one. So I'm sorry you don't have a word for ideology. I suggest that you get it. Now finally, in my Arabic struggling to learn some Arabic words, I was told that security means Amin. That Amin means security. Huh? That Amin, our Amin, Idi Amin, that Amin. So if you don't handle ideology correctly, then obviously you will not get security. And you will not get that will. So this is category 1 of my remarks. Category 2 is a little bit of history, small history. 1962, I was in grade 10 in the schools in Uganda. And there were some South Sudanese boys there. I didn't see them again, those boys. I don't know where they went. In that same school. So, they had run away as refugees, 1962. I asked them, what are you running away from? They said, Arabs are killing us. They want us to become Arabs. They want us to become Muslims. I said, what? I was mobilized. Who can do that? So I was really very angry in my head, although I couldn't do anything. So I said, what are you trying to do now? He said, we are trying to break away from Sudan. I think those boys belonged to Anyanya, Joseph Lagu and those groups. That was 1962. 1967, 1968, I was now the second year in the University of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And I meet John Garang. He had come there to do some study. Then I said, what is the problem of the Sudan? Because from 1962, I was mobilized as a secessionist to support the Anyanya people. In my head, I had nothing to support, but in my head, to support the people of South Sudan to get away from these Arabs who were killing them and wanting to make them Arabs. Now, Garang says, no, that for him, he did not support secession. I said, why? Because the Arabs are bad, they are killing you. He said, no. According to the census of the British of 1948, only 31% of the people of Sudan said they were Arabs. 69% said they were Africans. So, why should we secede from one another? Instead, we should fight and get rid of this, the government and build a new Sudan. You remember Garang's language, a new Sudan. He told me in 1968 when we were students. So that's when I came to know, for the first time, I had never heard that the black people, the African people of the Sudan, were not only in the south as we thought. Because this one of the south are our groups. Achoris, Madis, those groups, you know them. Bari, Topotha, Dinkas, these ones we know. Now, I didn't know that even in the north, Garang is the one who told me that there are African people there. Later on I came to know that you have the Nuba, you have the Darfur people, you have like this one, the big man. The Blue Nile, you have the Darfurians, you have the Nubians. The Nubians are ancient Africans. You have the people of the Red Sea. I had them here. So really, I think these mistakes have gone on for too long. These mistakes of misdiagnosis. The mistakes, how would you say that in Arabic? Can you help me with my Arabic? Misdiagnosis. If a doctor misdiagnoses you, how would you say it in your Arabic? You'll answer it yourself. This mistake of misdiagnosis must be ended. And really, these people also who mediate among you don't tell you the truth. Field Marshal Bashir had asked me to mediate between the government and some of these people. I actually met all these people. From the government side, there was a man called Dr. Amin. Dr. Amin with a lot of hair. And then these people were also there. There was also the man from Darfur, the one who was like a governor or something like that. Those were the Bashir people. And then these people were there. These who are here, some of them. Then they told me they had been to a place called Doha. For 3 years, they are discussing. What are you discussing? 3 years. I told them frankly that you are not serious. What are you discussing 3 years? You discuss for 3 years to find out whether Museveni is Museveni? What rubbish! Identity. These people you can see, this, like this one here, how can you say that you are discussing 3 years to find out what he is? The leader, if you want to help your country, you must stop wasting time. The issues are very clear. The mistake was a misdiagnosis. And just going on because people are polite, they don't tell you the truth. Me, I'm not part of that. So I'm glad you are here. You say you are now all ready to discuss and resolve these issues so that we move forward. I thank you and I wish you good luck. Shukran, I know shukran.
شكرا فخامة الرئيس يوري موسفني بهذه الكلمات الجميلة والذي عبر من خلاله عن مشكلة الهوية داخل الدولة السودانية. وأيضا تحدث فخامة الرئيس عن أهمية أن يجمع المصلحة بين كل أبناء السودان والنبض المشاكل بينهم. أيضا تحدث عن الانتهازية والذي قال أنه صادر من أناس يعانون الفلس الفكري. أيضا تحدث فخامة الرئيس عن مشكلة السودان والتشخيص الخاطئ للأزمة السودانية والتي هي السبب في إطالة الصراع في السودان. وأيضا نصح في خاتمة كلمته كل الرفاق المجتمعين في هذه اللحظات لمفاوضات السلام بعدم إضاعة الوقت، لأن المشاكل في السودان واضحة وضوح الشمس وتحتاج إلى حلول جذرية وإرادة سياسية من كل الأطراف. شكرا فخامة الرئيس يوري موسيفني.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, as I mentioned in my introduction before, President Salva Kiir has a moral obligation towards the people of Sudan because he is only person who understands better the current political complexities in the Sudan. He was an officer in the Sudanese army before, and he also became the first vice president of the Republic of Sudan until from 2005 until 2011. Therefore, he is very concerned of the future of both countries, and this is why he offers to mediate between the opposing side of the Sudan. Not to make the story long, ladies and gentlemen, allowed me to call upon His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, to the podium to deliver his remarks. Your Excellency, you are welcome.
Your Excellency, Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, the Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Chairman of IGAD. Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the Chairman of the Sovereign Council of the Republic of Sudan. Excellencies, representatives, and delegates of the head of the state and government, distinguished presidential advisors and ministers, honorable members of the parliament, representatives of the Sudanese opposition groups, representative of the AU, IGAD, and UN and other partners. I would like also to recognize the presence of the representative of United Arab Emirates and the presence of a representative of the Kingdom of the Saudi Arabia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to see all of you distinguished guests joining us in Juba to participate in this historical inaugural occasion for the restoration of peace, security, economic, and political stability in the Republic of Sudan. Allow me, therefore, to humble myself on behalf of my government and on my own behalf to welcome you all to your second home, the Republic of South Sudan.
I highly and sincerely appreciate your positive response to our invitation for you to come and grace this very important event at short notice, despite your very busy schedules. Before making my remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed for having been awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. Congratulations, my brother. You made all of us, as your brothers, in the region and indeed in the whole continent, you made us proud of this achievement. You tapped on things that were believed to be impossible to make peace a reality, but with the hopes and determinations, you overcame all the hurdles to ensure peace begins once again at the Horn of Africa. Congratulations once more, my brother. Excellencies, our desire to resolve the conflict and to restore peace in the Sudan was born as early as the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in January 2005, and more so after South Sudan earned its independence from Sudan in July 2011. Unfortunately, our efforts did not materialize as we had wished, but we did not give up. The event we are inaugurating today is the outcome of our continuous determination to work for peace and stability in our second home, the Republic of Sudan. Excellencies, at this juncture, I must confess that this event could not have been possible without the trust of the new leadership of the Sudan. I shared by the Sudanese popular uprising of 11th April 2019 in our honest reasoning for peace in the Sudan. Also, it could have not been possible without the confidence bestowed upon us by the Sudanese opposition parties present here with us now in Juba. Hence, I am obliged to greatly thank the leadership of the Republic of the Sudan under the able leadership of His Excellency General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the Chairman of the Sovereign Council of the Republic of Sudan, and our friend Prime Minister Mohamed Abdallah Hamdok, and the efforts of General Mohamed Hamdan Daglo, popularly known as Hemeti, member of the Sovereign Council of the Sudan. Equally, I express my profound gratitude to the leaders of the Sudanese opposition groups, the Revolutionary Front, represented by its leader, Dr. Al-Hadi Idris Mustafa, and the Sudan People's Liberation Movement North, led by General Abdelaziz Adam Al-Hilu. Thank you very much, my brothers, for coming. Your Excellencies, in Africa, and more specifically in the region here, the Sudan and South Sudan are two countries that have experienced the longest internal human devastation. Rail development, and made the two countries to be a laughing stock in the international arena. Our own experience, as all of us know, has shown that no one side to any political conflict can win through the barrel of a gun, but more successfully through political dialogue, negotiation, and compromises. That is the only logical, because any two sides to a conflict know their problems better than anybody else, and so they should own the solutions to their political differences whatsoever. It is in that spirit that our desire and determination to initiate a Sudan peace mediation process, this is where it emanates. Here, my Sudanese brothers and sisters, I humbly beg you, as you begin peacemaking, to please dialogue, negotiate, and negotiate in good faith, and make necessary compromises for the sake of peace and security for the people of Sudan and our region. Concluding and reaching peace in Juba would be a huge boost and indeed encouragement to us as we ourselves in South Sudan head towards the deadline, of establishing the revitalized government of national unity in November 2019. After unnecessarily wasting 5 years of a war that only inflicted a toll of human suffering and reversed development that we earned after the independence. Your Excellencies, our interest is for the two countries to have internal peace, stability, to peacefully coexist so that the peoples of the two countries enjoy not only peace but socio-economic prosperity. As you well know, South Sudan shares the longest border with the Sudan. Again, our peoples at the border have shared values, cultures, and traditions. That is why it is vital that we must work together to return peace to the two neighboring countries, which have very long historical ties. Time has come for us in Africa and in our region to rise up to the challenge of addressing our differences and conflicts. I have no doubt that we have the capacity, the ability, and the required competence to do so if we have a strong political will. Ethiopia and the Sudan intervened and assisted us to reach peace and to enjoy the stability we have today in South Sudan. Both countries put in a lot of resources and tireless efforts to mediate between the incumbent transitional government of national unity and the SPLA in opposition, and the South Sudanese opposition alliance. I recognize that we still have challenges that we must rise to overcome with your help. I want to seize this opportunity to thank you all for what you have done to us and ask you to continue helping us so that we succeed in our determination to restore peace and stability in South Sudan. Likewise, we want to reciprocate by intervening to mediate for the restoration of peace and stability in the Republic of Sudan. Your Excellencies, again and again, I urge you all to join hands with us to achieve the noble goal of peace in the Sudan. Sudan should not be left out in this new spirit of restoring peace back in the region. And the entire world. As you may agree with us that if there is no peace and stability in Sudan, there will be no peace in the whole region, because absence of stability and peace in the Sudan could destabilize and affect the whole region, particularly South Sudan. We need to resolve our differences and conflicts in order to move forward, focusing to provide services to our deprived people, re-engage in development and rebuilding of our nations. Our peoples who have suffered enough in the region, they are now yearning for peace, and they deserve to live in peace and go about with their normal livelihoods. We have to stop forcing them to flee around looking for safety in dirty camps as internally displaced people or refugees. Some of our youth are even risking their lives by trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea to look for better life and opportunities in Europe. We are rich in potentials, and it is time for us to stop conflicts and wars, and instead put all our energy and efforts to develop these potentials for the prosperity and well-being of our peoples in the region. Excellencies, I reiterate that it is high time for us to cooperate, support each other, and stop encouraging or supporting negative forces or groups in any way. We need to learn how to resolve our differences and conflicts through peaceful means rather than using force. Using force will lead us nowhere except for the killing of our own people and the destruction of our countries. If we stop encouraging and supporting negative forces or groups, we will send a very clear message to all that the best way to resolve political differences and conflicts is through peaceful democratic means, not militarily. In conclusion, Your Excellencies, permit me once again to welcome you to Juba, South Sudan. I wish all of you a very good stay for those who are remaining with us, and safe return home for those who will be leaving us. Thank you very much. I want to apologize that I skipped recognizing the Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, that is Dr. Mustafa Makbuli. I'm sorry, the Kanma Maksud. Now for the Sudanese delegations for the peace talks, I wish them successful dialogue, negotiation and compromises so that we celebrate the achievement of peace in the Sudan. Otherwise, thank you very much for honoring our invitation and for agreeing to conduct the peace talks under the mediation of the leadership of the Republic of South Sudan. May God bless all of you, and I thank all of you once more.